Welcome to the Cosmic Cafe Show, where the paranormal is normal. My name is Eric Brown, and I'll be your host and server. For today's daily special at the cafe, we are brewing up the question of, did NASA suppress images of UFOs which are showed up on their own cameras? Does NASA have an agenda to hide evidence of starships in our upper atmosphere and around our planet and the sun? Well, if so, why? Well, to help us answer these questions today is Mr. Robert Evans, who is a native San Franciscan, has served our country in the military. Bob has distinguished himself by not just talking about the issues, he stepped up and ran for the U.S. Congress 2 separate times. In 2006, Bob started his lifelong passion researching these questions about aliens and UFOs, and today I am honored to have him here at the cafe. Welcome to the cafe, Bob.
It's an honor to be here.
Oh, it's my honor to have you here. I've run for Congress a couple of times.
1996, 98, yes.
Wow, serve our country. I mean, my goodness, I'm really happy to have you stop by the cafe today.
I'm glad I came, yes.
Well, so what is with the NASA, and I mean, is this what's going on? Or you have leaked photos, or?
Well, they're not leaked, but they're hidden in plain sight.
Oh.
I was first told about these images back about 2006, 2007, and when I first saw them, I couldn't believe them. Okay, because they weren't like anything you would normally see.
Okay.
I grew up with Lost in Space, Star Trek.
Oh, sure. I love Star Trek.
Babylon 5.
I don't like Babylon 5 as much as Star Trek, but
well,
call me a purist. I don't know. There's a lot of people that just turned their TVs off, I'm sure.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize to the Babylon 5.
But when I started to get further into these things, these images that were being shown on NASA's SOHO satellite has 10 cameras, and these were being picked up by their SOHO satellite, the stereo ahead, stereo behind, and then the U.S. Navy's SETI satellites.
Okay.
These images were just fantastic. And then when I started digging into them, I found out that ancient humans over in Iran also knew these same things.
Oh my gosh. Now you're not being selfish and not bringing any of these photos for us today, right? You brought photos?
I did bring some photos for you today, yes.
Yeah, I think also you brought a couple of videos. And
there are 2 videos. We're going to probably show a couple of little minute or 2 from each one just to show your audience here.
Yeah.
It also explains why NASA, before 2012, said that we were going to have one massive solar storm after another after another.
Okay.
And why it hasn't been happening.
Huh.
The NASA satellites are actually showing that the ETs, I'm sorry, I have to use the word, the aliens are actually intervening in the solar storms. They're controlling our sun. And I have the proof to show this, your listening audience here. They've been filming these things around our sun for over 7 years. Oh, and some of my friends on Facebook have actually been seeing them. And they're wondering, what the heck is that?
Right. I'm glad you used the word heck. I probably would have used a different word.
Nah, I got to be nice.
Yes, we got to be nice. So, well, maybe we should get the audience up to speed with the first video you brought.
Okay,
because that kind of helps to explain a little bit what we're going to be showing with the other slides.
Yes. I did this video. It was one of the first videos I actually did. It was with Third Phase of Moon. My friend Dr. John Elias down in Los Angeles hooked me up for other things after that. But it shows these images of these ships, and these are not fakes. They're not photoshopped. There's no fakery involved.
So these are from the NASA cameras?
They're from the NASA cameras.
Okay. So I guess whenever they're ready, they can go ahead and...
Sure.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. My name is Blake Cousins, and we're Skyping right now in regards to these incredible photographs taken by SOHO. And we're going to be speaking with Robert Evans in regards to his theories on what he thinks these anomalous objects are. To me, they seem quite big, and I want to welcome Robert right here into the show, Third Phase of Moon. Thanks for joining us.
No, thank you for having me on.
Okay, well, let's get right to it. Can you give us a quick theory of what you think this photo, number 2, that we're looking at right now in regards to the third photo of the Anunnaki, ancient carvings on the wall here?
Okay, we're looking at the red one where it's coming out, where it's like coming out of a big T.
Yes.
That's it's a large Anunnaki starship. It's either coming out of subspace or warp or whatever term you want to use. You can see the huge T, the warp gate it came out of. These ships have been coming to our system since at least 1996. Have no idea how big they are, but just looking at that SOHO image, that has to be pretty good size.
All right, Robert, in comparison to this ancient carving on the wall, what do you think? You say that it's possibly that kind of a airship that these ancient civilizations portray in these art formations on the walls?
Well, yes. The ancient Sumerians, they carved them in several different locations, up on walls, on different things, on small cylinder seals. What you see their god, their Anunnaki god, or the winged god, or Zarathustra, I forget what his name is. And he's harnessed. He has a really nice harness across his belt, across his chest, back to the wings. The wings are kind of really nice, huge, but they have landing gear. They have metal rods going down instead of bird's legs, and they have round knobs making them wheels. So it's a large winged craft that the Sumerians had no way other than a bird to explain.
Well, now we're looking at photograph 4 and 5. Number 4 and the 5th one is basically a more contrasted picture of number 4. What are we looking at in this SOHO photograph?
In photo number 4, what you're looking at is you're seeing one of these Anunnaki starships coming out of its warp gate into our system. The sun is right down behind it. It's blocked off by a large disk so it doesn't damage the cameras. And off to the left, you can see this ship that is just shot out of this warp gate. Just like
And
So, Bob,
it
that
wasn't
was
just the Sumerians. That
you look
was
good
the,
shaved, by the
Oh,
way.
thanks. That was actually the Zoroastrian religion, which is over in Iran. They're the ones that have those wall carvings of what's called the Ahura Mazda.
Oh,
And that
so
one-
that's slide 1.
Yeah,
Is that
and-
correct? If they
and-
want to bring that up, people can see what we're talking about there as well.
Yeah, that's the huge wall carvings they have over there in Iran. You can see the wings are outspread. The Anunnaki god, which is Enki, from what I've been finding out over time. You can also see the landing gear there, where you have the poles going down and the 2 round wheels.
Oh, yeah. It does look like landing gear.
Exactly. It does not look like feet or legs or anything.
I didn't notice that until you just mentioned
A
it.
lot of people never mention it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So Enki was right there, part of the Anunnaki, which were here on Earth some 450,000 years ago. Zachariah Sitchin wrote several books about them. Lost Book of Enki gives the most detail as to what they did while they were here.
Uh-huh.
And that, I think, photo number 2 shows the ship right there. That's,
yes.
that's the EIT-304 satellite camera on the SOHO satellite. And that's an ultraviolet image right there, and it's from 2005. And you can see the image of that thing coming down the left-hand side of it right there.
Yeah, the white spot.
Well, it's from that vision right there. It's just a little, like a winged little thing,
Right.
but it's trailing something behind it.
Yeah.
Now on the third image, right there, it's enlarged.
Yeah.
You can see that thing matches almost exactly the wall carvings for the Ahura Mazda. And,
Yeah, it does.
and as I started getting together with Dr. Sasha Lesson and Janet Lesson from Hawaii, they really good into the Anunnaki with some other authors.
You know, speaking of them, they've actually, I just confirmed just 2 days ago that they're going to be future guests on the show.
Excellent. They're good people.
They are really fantastic people, and I'm looking forward.
Dr. Sasha Lesson, he's got one heck of a head on it. So does his wife. Janet's really good too.
Yeah, I was conversing with Janet.
We've been on I've been on several radio shows with them recently, and we've been talking and we've been bringing up the ancient history about the Anunnaki, and that's how I know Enki is the one that's shown in those images.
Oh, okay.
He's right there in between, and that's the Zoroastrian religion.
Yeah.
Now over in Iraq, there's another religion, the Yadists, Yadists, that were being wiped out. They're partially part of the Zoroastrian religion also.
Are those the ones that are on top of the mountain that
the
are being
ones that
rescued
were on
right
top
now?
of the mountain, yes.
I know we don't normally talk topical, but
exactly. And, and then the other religion is called the Mithras.
Yes. Okay.
They're all three. Basically, they're all started by Enki.
Oh.
So he was really good with what's now the Iranians over there, and he was seen the most with them, and they had those huge wall carvings.
And this was thousands of years ago.
Thousands of years ago, and here's that image showing 2005.
Yeah, wow.
You know, a lot of people have known that President Eisenhower actually had meetings with 3 alien races back in 1954.
Okay.
He made the mistake of having the Bishop of Los Angeles, Francis McIntyre, as being his spiritual guide. After everything was over, he ran straight back to Rome, told Pope Pius XII everything that he saw and heard.
Right, okay.
And the Pope was a little bit angered by, he found out then that there were actually 2 alien races living here on Earth then.
This was back in
1954.
54, wow.
So a lot of this stuff, it's been going ever since. They've had secret meetings in the Vatican, Washington, D.C., in secret hiding places. Eisenhower met with the Anunnaki personally at Holloman Air Force Base in 1955.
Wow.
And Pope Pius XII met with the Anunnaki personally in the Vatican Gardens.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I never heard. I've heard the other rumors, but I never heard that rumor.
Now, all of that came out in the early 2000s when a high-ranking Jesuit priest left the Vatican and went to go talk to Christopher Barbato, an Italian reporter.
Okay.
He told him everything, and quite a lot of things that Barbato never told his friend Lucas Cantamburlo. They did several articles in their UFO magazines over there in Italy. Lucas Cantamburlo was in a 2-hour interview with Project Camelot in 2008.
Right.
And he did a 2-hour video interview.
Just real briefly, just for our audience, just so they know, Project Camelot, if you're not familiar with that, with the Paranormal UFO Circle, is a group that did some excellent interviews with some very notable people that were either well-known at the time or now are well-known, and so they definitely got a lot of the messages out. And so I wanted to make sure people didn't think it was King Arthur's Camelot.
Exactly.
So I wanted to make sure they knew the difference.
The show's name was The Return of Planet X.
Yes, I think I do remember seeing that actually on their YouTube channel.
It's still on YouTube.
Yeah,
You can click on it. You can go right to Luca's webpage, and you can look at the transcript. You can see exactly what's being told.
Yeah.
The Pope knows it was the Anunnaki on planet Nibiru that was coming through our system really soon.
Right.
And all this other stuff. And that's where all these images are coming from.
Speaking of images, should we tell them about the next image?
Yeah, it's what?
4?
Number 4, yes.
Yeah, that one's pretty amazing.
You recently had a guest on your show, Robert Schroeder.
Who? No, just kidding. I remember Bob.
He was a fantastic theorist type person.
Yes.
But he belongs in a classroom. You know, because he had lots of theories about how these ships should be able to come here. That image right there shows one coming right out of a warp gate.
It's kind of like proving his theories.
Exactly.
His quantum
I can't tell
theories.
how it's doing it.
Yeah.
That ship is the size of our planet.
Right.
That's how big they are.
That's pretty big.
When I spoke at UFOCon 213 last November, a lot of the UFO experts, they pulled me aside and said, do you realize how big that image is? That thing's the size of our planet, very close.
Right.
But that one image shows one of those ships coming out of that big warp gate. It looks like a big T. If they can show that image again, number 4, you can see the actual image is up to the left, off to the left of our sun. The enlargement shows it coming out of a massive warp gate, subspace. Oh God, there's so many different terms I can try to use to describe it.
Right.
But that big thing, NASA's caught these ships coming out of that same type of thing.
Yeah, these are photos from NASA's own website.
Yes.
And I would like to mention that I've actually gone to Bob's website, and I've actually followed the links over to NASA's websites, and I've actually pulled up these photos off of NASA's websites, and they were there just a couple of days ago before we actually taped this show. So
I had to check these images out.
Well, I had to check them out too.
Before I talk to anyone.
Well, I had to check them out before I let you on the show.
Exactly.
I wanted to make sure that people respected what you're talking about, because they're really there. It's amazing.
There, I mean, you know, all of the images, they have the date and the time.
Yeah, that's true. It's in the lower corner. You see that in the...
Exactly. Now, I had to go to Soho's webpage called Hot Shots, HOTSHOTS. That one web page is not really known by a lot of people.
Oh, should you be giving it out? We don't want to make NASA mad or anything.
Well,
I mean,
it's on their web page.
You know, government has the so-called Men in Black and stuff. We don't want them coming after you or
I've heard too much about them, geez. But the Hotshot web page goes into all the garbage images from 1999 to 2012. I went through every single one, and not one of these images were in that web page. They have a second web page. It's also part of Hotshots called Make Your Own UFO.
Right. Oh,
where
really?
it's camera defects.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because the sun's hit by all this radiation at different times, and it'll make the little parts, you know, explode up. And I went through their stuff, and not one of these images were put in there.
Wow.
Now, you'd think that if NASA was trying to cover their butt, they would have had all these web pages all full of these images.
Right.
That way, if anyone ever found one,
sure,
hey, it's garbage. Don't worry about it.
Well, isn't that probably how a lot of the government, you know, Men in Black and all that cover up a lot of this stuff, is by flooding a lot of garbage out there?
Possibly, but NASA doesn't.
We better be careful about talking about Men
I
in Black.
know.
So anyways, you got another slide here too. We should probably
what
let
was
the people
it? Slide number 6, I think.
5, I think. It's the first
5?
blue one. Yeah.
Okay, this is something that really put me over the edge with NASA. This one here is from 2012. It's a blue image. That's LASCO 3. You see, it's all nice and clear. The next image.
So go to the next one, 6.
Right there.
Poof.
Now, these images are about 12 minutes apart. So the image before had nothing. Now this image, they're all just posing for their photograph, which is just fantastic. Look at all, you know, the long things. I call them the cigar-shaped UFOs that we all see.
The ones that are always being reported, the cylindrical ones.
Exactly, yeah. The bigger ones, I can't tell what they are. Now, if you look very carefully towards the sun, which is that big disk in the center, just off to the left side, you see 2 things right there. Okay? Now, the next image, there they are, right there. That's the second camera on Soho filming the exact same thing.
So that's
this is LASCO 2.
Okay, and that's why it's red.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're filtered to let certain things go through.
Yeah.
So the other image showed a wide view showing everything. This one shows a really tight view, only those 2 that were close to the sun.
I know our graphic guy's going to hate me for this, but can you pop it back to the previous one just so the home audience can see? So you see to the left.
Just to the left, that disc right in the center. That covers our sun.
Yeah, that covers up the sun. So just to the left of that disc, you see this.
You see 2 objects right there.
Yeah, it kind of looks like quote symbols or something.
Yes.
And then you go to the red one, go to the next one again.
That's LASCO 2, which is, there's 10 cameras on Soho, which is solar Solar and Heliospheric Observatory.
Right, right. Yeah.
And to have two cameras on the same satellite seeing the exact same thing throws all of the, I'm sorry, that's anomalies, that's, you know,
Dust
this,
on the lens,
it tosses them right off the table.
Yeah.
That was it right there.
Right, yeah, that's phenomenal.
So, you know.
And then we see, what is it, about another 12 minutes later, the slide, next slide?
The next slide, you can see tail end Charlie just leaving the field of view. Everything else has bugged out except for him, just a tiny little bit as he leaves.
Tail end Charlie.
So,
my dad's name is Charlie, so he's probably laughing.
You know, so there's the proof that NASA and the U.S. government knows these things are on they're being recorded every day.
Right. And it's on their website, actually. You can
now,
actually go and see.
NASA caught up with me in August 23rd of 2013.
Uh-oh. You're not going to bring any trouble to me, are you? I
Well,
don't need any trouble
I'm
from
sorry,
NASA. You know, NASA's just right across the freeway from where we tape the show here.
I'm
You might
sorry.
have noticed them over there at Moffett Field.
NASA, on August 23rd, I recorded 10 of those big ships either departing or coming into our system. August 24th, NASA shut down the real-time data for SOHO. So no one from Hawaii over to England could access the data to see any of the new images. But my friends over in France, because over there in France, they have the European Space Agency, which is coupled with NASA.
Right.
They say, hey, it's still up, and here's the images showing these same things coming in. NASA had it off for almost a week. When they brought it back up, they started faking the images. Not all of the images, they were faking every once in a while.
Yeah.
Now, how do I know they're faked? I have over 3,000 of these satellite images downloaded and saved.
Wow.
So I can look through and see what they're doing every time they do something.
Sure.
And on a couple of them, I could actually see things not lining up.
Now, just so you know, we're getting kind of short on time.
Yes.
So I know you brought another video. Maybe we should bring that up.
Please.
And just show that
Now,
one,
NASA's been talking about solar storms possibly coming in 2012.
So this video explains that, or?
Yes.
Okay, so should we go ahead and start the video?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, you're looking at one of the SOHO cameras. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it shows the our sun with the green kind of a background. And on the right-hand side of our sun, you see an alien space probe that is really close to our sun.
Yeah, these images are popping up all over the place. You have an eye for it. You're collecting the database. You're sharing it right here at Third Phase of Moon. Let's go to the second picture right now. This, to me, I'm not exactly sure what we're looking at. More probes, Robert?
That looks to be some kind of either a large, it's very large. It's far larger than the probe itself.
So it's definitely some kind of anomaly. What's going on here? I see the dark probe. It's definitely there. Something's there. It's not, you know, a scratch in the lens or dust on the lens. This is in deep space here.
Yes, it is. Very close to our sun. If you look at the probe itself, very close.
Okay, so we're back. We have the video, and
now slide number 9.
So if they can bring up slide number 9. There we go.
That one there shows 214.
This is basically what you were talking about in the video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
NASA's been recording these things for at least 7 to 8 years.
Wow.
Now, everyone was warned we would have one solar storm after the other in 2012.
Sure, I remember that.
We haven't had any.
Yeah.
All the science has been, what happened? That shows the aliens are intervening.
Okay.
They want to make sure that us advanced humans go on to the next level. That's the only reason why those things are up there around our sun. Those are not human-made.
Now, I know we only got about 3 minutes left, so why don't you go ahead and give your website out so everybody knows how to go to your website and see all
Sure.
these great images.
It's www.starshipsaroundthesun.com.
Okay, starshipsaroundthesun.com. And
That was the name came from my my good friend Ivy West, which is
Okay.
over in Hawaii. She had me on several of her radio shows.
Oh, okay.
Lori and Fenton had me at UFO Con 213. And
Now you mentioned that slide number 9 that you just showed.
Yes.
That's a first-time exclusive that you've ever shared that
exactly.
in public, right?
And some of these other ones, the slide number 10.
Okay, gentlemen, we're going to have to break this up.
What? Who are you?
Are you Robert Henry Evans Jr.?
Yes, I am.
What's going on?
I'm going to have to ask you to come with me, please, answer some questions.
What's going on here?
It's okay, we'll take you down to the agency. Sorry, sir, it's on a need-to-know basis.
What?
Come with me, sir.
What? Bob, what's going? Oh my gosh. Well, I guess folks, I'm sorry. I guess I don't know. Maybe Bob overstepped the bounds with NASA. Anyways, you know, I guess that's the end of our show because I have no guest. So, well, offer the best to Bob, and whatever happens to him, hopefully he'll make it out okay. With that, I'd like to thank everybody here that helped produce the Cosmic Cafe show, all the volunteers, and especially the Media Center for allowing us to use their facility. And with that, we'd also like to remind you that you can always pull up the Cosmic Cafe show and any of our episodes, learn bios of our guests at cosmiccafeshow.com. Again, that's cosmiccafeshow.com. And heck, if you're really into being social, why don't you go check out our Facebook page or our Twitter. All the links are there on the cosmiccafeshow.com website. So feel free to go like our page. I'd appreciate it. And also feel free to follow us on Twitter. I'm always sending out tweets on different events that aren't necessarily specific about the show, but related to the show's topics, the paranormal topics that we talk about. So with all of that, I'd really like to thank the entire production crew again, and everybody, and thank you very much at home and all the stations that are carrying the show now nationwide. So thank you very much. Have a great day.